rushing wind blow through this temple, blowing out the dust within. Come and breathe your breath upon me. I've been born again.
It's always the same thing, you know. It's that old Hegelian effect, right? Thesis, antithesis, synthesis. And that's what's been accomplished, right? You got these people on the quote-unquote left, like I say, that are all flowers and accept everyone, you know, and don't ask any questions, and let's all become one, and division is the great sin of the church, and so on and so forth. Then you got this other group on the all the way on the other side that are ready to kill someone who Jesus sent for them to win to him with his love. Instead, they're ready to shoot them if they come and take any of their food, right? They're idolaters in a different sense. Okay, so you got these idolaters in Washington, D.C. Think about it. In Washington, D.C., you have these idolaters that are worshiping, first of all, this Egyptian, Babylonian, Nephilic, occultic. I mean, they're going to do this right in front of this phallic symbol, which stands for the reincarnation of Pharaoh, okay, for the resurrection of Apollo, Jupiter, Zeus, Nimrod, whatever we want to call this antichrist beast, all right? They're going to stand right in front of that and have the supposed Christian powwow where everyone is they're all one, they're all in unity, there's no judgment of sin, there's no division between right and wrong, and so on. On the other side, you have the other people that are standing for the same thing, just in a different way. They also worship this Atlantis, this new Atlantis, and claim that this was God's creation and that God has a covenant with this new Atlantis, and that these documents that these Masonic deists drafted up when they rebelled against the European monarchies and came over so they could practice their own occult philosophy without interruption. They're standing behind these guys with guns in their hands and ready to go and have the American Revolutionary War all over again. Well, both of these sides are missing it. So what happens? You have a synthesis. It comes together in one blasphemous idolatry, and none of it is God. And both sides, people, both sides will do what Jesus said. They will put you to death and believe they are serving God by doing it. What, you know what, Jose can open this up, I know a lot. What were the Christians called in the Roman Empire when they were killed? You know where I'm going with that, Brother Jose? They were called atheists.
Are you serious?
They were called atheists. Yes, because they did not, listen to me, they did not believe in the gods. So they were called atheists. They did not believe in God. Who was God? The emperor, right? God's representative on earth. They did not believe in God, so they were called atheists, and they were killed as atheists. Can you imagine? Well, we're coming back to that same spirit, people, where these groups on both sides, whether it be the liberal left, who, you know, wants to kill the true believers because they won't accept this perversion as the gospel, and on the right, you have these patriots, these you know, worshipers of this false idea of a Christian nation, who want to get their emperor into power, right? Everything will be okay if we can get Emperor Trump elected. That's their answer. Get Emperor Trump elected, let him put up the wall, let him keep the Muslims out, so on and so forth, right? So both sides will hate the true followers of Christ, because the true followers of Christ say, We reject it all. Our kingdom is not of this world. Our master said when he was on this earth that yes, he is a king and he has a kingdom, but his servants do not fight for him in the earthly realm with weapons of war and revolution and legislative, trickery, because his kingdom is not of this world. You see, brothers and sisters, for the same reason, the real Christians, the real believers, those of the ecclesia, the gathering together of the called out ones to Jesus Christ, at the beginning of, what we're calling the church, which, Brother Jose and I would both say is not the best word to use even, means circus. It's actually the amphitheater where they killed the Christians, was the circus. And that's what we're calling our place of worship, the church, the circus. And it has turned into a circus, hasn't it?
Yep.
But we will be persecuted by both sides because we say, and I'm telling you, Brother Jose, I don't know how much you've heard recently, but of some of the things that I've spoken on different shows and out there in the public arena. But this is where they stumble, is when I say to them over and over again, we are to come out of this world system. We are the invisible nation. We are a spiritual nation. We are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a peculiar, set-apart people. We're not to fight for this world system in any way, shape, or form, whether it's a whitewashed version of our understanding of good and just and righteous, or it's a wicked and perverse, version of it with all kind of sexual deviancy and all that kind of stuff. Either way is wrong. We're called out of the world. We're the city set upon a hill, and we're shining our light from the hill. We're not down in the valley trying to convert the system and make the system like us. No, we're called out of that system. We have our own culture, which is the culture of Christ and his kingdom. And we call men out of the world, period, from whatever side, from whatever corner, into the kingdom of Christ. And therefore, that's why true believers in Jesus Christ, true disciples in Jesus Christ, are persecuted. Right? That's why they're persecuted. They were killed and persecuted in the 1st and 2nd and 3rd centuries of the ecclesia's existence because they would not worship the emperor. They would not acknowledge the emperor's authority. It wasn't because they worshiped a Jesus, this Jesus God. That was not why. It was because they worshiped Jesus to the exclusion of the emperor and the Roman system. That's where we're at again, people. We're back to that place.